All right, no questions. So what is the cloud model about? Again, we need to be able to understand the different ways that the cloud can be deployed. So we're talking about the deployment types of the cloud resources, the resources that are being given to us. Is it the hardware? Does it include just the software with everything in it? How are we going to get it? Is it going to be given to us privately, publicly? Are we going to consume it in a hybrid fashion or as a multi-cloud? So let's talk a little bit about those. So private cloud. Private cloud, in this case, you're managing your whole IT infrastructure by the same company and you're not sharing it. So it's personal. So let's talk again about the example of a house, right? Because I know that it's easy for everybody to grasp the concept. When you have built your house and there's a fence around it, in that case, it's a private environment. That's a private cloud. Or maybe you're married. When you're married, you're dealing with just one wife. That's a private relationship. Okay. So think about your resources, the hardware, the software, everything that you're getting from the cloud, whether it's IIS or PAS or SAS, whichever service, if you're receiving it privately in your own company, just like in the traditional way, then it's a private cloud. A public cloud would be, say, companies that the whole IT infrastructure is managed by a single cloud provider. In this case, a cloud provider is the one that's managing it, but you're not mixing it. You're using just one cloud provider. Okay, so think about it. If you decide that, okay, you want to go to university, instead of building a house in Moliko or building a house in Douala or Yaoundé, you go ahead and rent from an apartment complex. When you live in the apartment complex, it's managed by just that apartment complex, but you're sharing it with others. Okay, you're sharing that compound with others, so you're sharing the services. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah, but in a case where you're using a combination of both the private and the public cloud, maybe because you want to meet some certain security or redundancy or reliability issues, then it becomes a hybrid. Okay, so think of somebody that has their personal car. They're only using their personal car. That's private transport. But they decide that they want to start taking the bus to go to one place or another, or to take a cab, then that's public transport. But if you're using both your personal car and public transport, then it's hybrid transport. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So it's easy to look at it that way. But now there's another one that's known as multi-cloud. Multi-cloud is when you're not using only Amazon. You're not using only Microsoft Azure. You're not using only Google Cloud Provider. You're using all of them. Maybe your database, or should I say your server team, all of them are going to use it. Maybe for one team, you're using Amazon. Maybe for the guy that's doing business intelligence and machine learning, they want to use Google. And another team that's doing all your documents, they want to use Microsoft Azure. So your company ends up using all three cloud providers. That becomes multi-platform. So again, in this case, if you were only using Uber as your public transport, you decide that you want to use Uber and Lyft and every other agency out there, then it becomes multi. So that's pretty much it. But just remember, if it's a traditional way, you're using just your company's information shared in the cloud. Your company is the only one that's using that dedicated server, then that's private. Sounds good? So let's check out the next thing that we should talk about. What are the major implications?
For hybrid.
Yeah.
Okay, let me.
No, go for it. Go for it.
You know, me, I always put my things in my own way.
Yes.
All right. For hybrid cloud, is it the same as you are married and then you have a small thing outside? Hybrid. I don't like it.
I'll be listening. I only ask that kind of question. If that's going to help you to remember the certificate, to pass doing your certification, yes.
Okay.
Because you want to be able to use real world examples to make this thing easy. Because the moment you see a question in your certification exam telling you that you're using a combination of in-house hardware and also hardware from that, then you know, okay, you're eating outside and you're also going to eat on the street.
Thank you. All right.
Good. So now you never forget hybrid.
No way, never.
Awesome. So let's talk about again, what are some of the benefits? As you can see, hybrid cloud provides the most flexibility. Does that agree? Does that sound good to you?
100%.
So hybrid provides the most flexibility, and the organizations determine where to run the applications, right? So you can decide which way, whether you're eating your achu or you're eating your rice and beans. The organization also controls the security and compliance and legal requirements. When the shit hits the fan, you'll be the one to be able to control the security at that time. But now, when you look at the public cloud, think about that public transport. If you're using public transport, you don't have to care about maintenance of that car. You don't have to care about fueling that car. You don't care about any of that. So no capital expenditures to upscale or to scale up. Whether you want whatever, if you want to take Uber X or Uber XL or Uber Z, you can take whichever one. No extra expenditure. You just pay for what you get. And your applications can be quickly provisioned and deprovisioned. If you want to order Uber, you order it right away. It comes to, you don't have to say, I have to go and buy a car and buy this or rent and, bid price left, right, and center before you get the personal car. And then the organizations pay only for what they use. If the Uber guy decides to drive all around before they come and pick you up, that's none of your business. You're only paying for your the departure to your destination complete. And again, organizations don't have complete control over the resources and security. If the Uber guy is turning left or right, you don't have control over that. You can only suggest, but you can decide to play reggae or play makossa. It's his radio. Okay, so those are some of the examples that you can think of. But with private cloud, Your organization has complete control. It's your car. You can decide what kind of air refreshener to put in there. You can decide what to play on your radio. And the data is not co-located with other organizations. So all your stuff is in there, but you're going to sit in Uber's seat. You don't know who was sitting there before, and so on and so forth. You go in there, it's smelling like rice and beans because the person that was there ate rice and beans and so on. So, the hardware must be purchased, and startup and maintenance costs are all yours. So it's still your car. If your car breaks down, you have to fix it. If there's no gas in your car, you have to put the gas in there. So you're responsible for maintenance, updates, and all whatnot. So those are the main drawbacks that you have to look at, private cloud, public cloud, and hybrid cloud. But at the end of the day, again, you want to be able to see all these things and know what are their purposes. Okay, natural evolution of things, the way it was is the private cloud. Public cloud, you're renting an apartment complex. Other people are also using the same electricity, the same water pipes. They are all used by the same people. But hybrid, you get to mix the two of them. Multi, you get multiple public cloud providers. Now, Azure Arc is a tool that we'll talk about later on. Azure Arc is a tool that helps you manage whatever type of model that you're using. If you're using on-premises, you can still manage it with Azure Arc. It's a software. Or if you're using public, you can use Azure. Or if you're using multi-cloud, even using other people's cloud services, you can still use that. An Azure VMware solution is if you have virtual machines that you're already using, right? You have your server, and your server uses VMware to create virtual machines. You can have a solution to be able to integrate that with your Azure service. So just wanted to point those two out. But yeah, we've talked about the different cloud models. We've also talked about their differences. Now let's talk about the last thing for the day. It's a consumption-based model. Okay, you as a consumer, let's go back again to the issue of the house. Would you prefer to buy a house or build it or rent it? Depending on the case. If you know that you're not going to be staying in the house all the time, building it might be you wasting your resources, right? If you know that you need only one room, why would you build a skyscraper with 10 rooms? All those other rooms will be wastage. But if you decide that you want to build only 2 rooms, and then tomorrow you have 12 children, then you're going to need to build more. And then those children go bigger, and then they move out of the house and build their own houses. You're not going to reduce the size of the house again. So that's basically the essence. But now let's talk a little bit about economics. Capital expenditure is that large upfront investment that you have to make. You have to buy the products to build your house, right? You have to buy the cement, the sand, the wood, the zinc, and so on and so forth. If you don't have that money to put up front to make that purchase, if you're doing a buy or a build, then it's better for you to just do pay as you go. You wake up today, you want to live in this neighborhood, you find your money, you go rent. You went there because you have decided to stay there for 10 months or 1 year. After that, you move to the next place and rent. So there you just pay as you go. The same with your phone plan. If you decide that you want to be renting your cell phone, you rent the cell phone. If you decide that you're done, you leave that, you move to the next cell phone and rent it. Or if you know that you really want the phone, you buy the phone and you have it for the rest of your life. So again, the benefits of using this consumption-based model, you don't have to pay anything upfront. If I decide that I want to start my company today, I don't need to go and start buying servers to set things up. I don't need to find somebody to manage those servers for me. Okay, I just pay for what I need. I don't need to overestimate or underestimate, because I might think that I need to build a website. This website is only for Cameroonians. But at the end of the day, I see the whole of Africa is using the website. Now I have to spend more money to buy more hardware to be able to have the necessary storage, the necessary compute power. But then somebody else creates their own website. All my customers leave, and now I'm left with just 2 customers instead of the 2 million I had. Now I'm overpaying for the resources that I don't need. I cannot go and start looking for somewhere to sell all those things that I bought. But with cloud computing, all you have to do is you click a button or 2 to be able to upscale or downscale or go in and out as you need. Does that make sense?
Oh, yes.
Yes. So it's very cost effective and it saves you a lot. So that's the end of the day, the benefits of having that and how it goes from there. All right. So with that, a quick quote for you: creating products are a form of innovation and ideas expressed by artists. So we have been artists here trying to create products with our innovative ideas. Right. That's